Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. Today we're tackling InnevAto EDU.
Interesting program.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it until we started prepping for this. Like, at all. So it's an online and blended learning program.
Right. And the thing is, it's specifically designed by Ohio teachers for Ohio students.
Okay, so right off the bat, that's interesting. Like, hyper-focused.
Yeah, they're focusing on grades 6 through 12.
So it's really hitting those crucial middle and high school years. What's the big deal about InnevAto EDU, though? What makes it different from all the other online learning platforms out there?
Well, their mission is all about accessibility. They want to offer a top-notch education to anyone who wants to learn. Doesn't matter where they live, what their schedule's like, or even if they have any learning differences.
Ah, okay. Breaking down those barriers, making education more available. I like it.
Exactly. And you know their name, InnevAto, it's actually Italian.
No, I didn't. What's it mean?
It means snowy or snow-capped. Get it? Reaching new heights in learning.
I love that. That's very clever.
It is, and it's presented by the Fairfield County Educational Service Center.
Okay.
Their whole thing is about supporting people, helping them reach their own learning goals.
So how does InnevAto EDU actually make learning more accessible then? Like, what are they doing differently?
A big part of it is how they design their courses. They make sure everything aligns with Ohio's learning standards.
Makes sense. Got to keep things consistent.
And they use these Quality Matters standards, too.
Quality matters. What's that?
It's basically a set of standards for making sure online learning is good, high quality.
Gotcha. So parents and students can be confident that it's legit.
Exactly. And because it's made by Ohio teachers, it fits right in with what's already happening in Ohio classrooms.
Yeah, makes sense. So whether a student is doing fully online learning or blending it with in-person classes, InnevAto EDU just kind of slots in.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say I'm a student or maybe a parent and I'm intrigued. Why would I pick InnevAto EDU over just sticking with a traditional classroom?
Well, they have these three core goals, right? Increasing options and access to education, personalizing how students learn, and making things more efficient for schools budget-wise.
Okay, I'm following. But break it down for me. What exactly do you mean by increasing educational options and access?
So imagine a student who lives way out in the country, right? Their school might not have a huge variety of courses.
Limited options.
Right. But InnevAto EDU opens up all these possibilities, giving them access to all kinds of high-quality courses that just wouldn't be available otherwise.
So it levels the playing field a bit, giving everyone more choices. Love it.
And it's not just about location. Think about students who have jobs or family responsibilities. InnevAto EDU lets them learn at their own pace on their own time.
Flexible, adaptable.
Exactly.
So that's a game changer for some students, for sure. Okay, what about personalizing the learning? How does InnevAto EDU do that?
Well, they get that not everyone learns the same way, right? Some people are visual learners, some people are hands-on, some need those lectures. InnevAto EDU accommodates all of that, offers a bunch of different activities and resources.
A custom learning path for every student. Sounds pretty cool.
And here's the bonus.
Mm.
It helps schools use their resources better. They can offer more courses without spending a ton of money.
Makes sense.
And it can even help lower dropout rates, which is good for everyone, saves money in the long run, and helps students succeed.
Win-win.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got the why behind InnevAto EDU, expanding access, personalized learning, and being budget-friendly. But what about the how? What is the actual experience like for students?
Their instructional framework is built on some really solid principles. They use what they call HQIM.
HQIM.
Yeah, it stands for high quality instructional materials. Basically, they're using the latest research to create engaging materials that really challenge students.
So it's not just boring textbooks and lectures.
Nope, definitely not. They use this thing called Universal Design for Learning, UDL for short.
UDL, okay.
It means a platform is designed to be accessible to all students, no matter their needs or abilities.
So they're thinking about everyone, making sure no one gets left behind.
Exactly. All of their content is ADA compliant, meets all the legal requirements for accessibility for students with disabilities.
That's great. High-quality materials and accessibility. What else is part of the InnevAto EDU learning experience?
They put a lot of emphasis on social-emotional learning, too.
SEL, right?
Yep. It's not just about the academic stuff. They want to create a positive learning environment where students feel connected.
So it's about the whole student, not just their grades.
Exactly. And they build diversity, equity, and inclusivity into every aspect of their courses.
DEI.
Yep. They want every student to feel represented and valued.
Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. They're really focused on making this a positive experience for all students.
Absolutely. And the platform itself is super user-friendly. Students can easily navigate through courses, track their progress, find what they need.
So they've got the technical side covered, which lets students just focus on learning.
Right. And of course, everything is aligned with those Ohio learning standards we talked about earlier.
So it's a well-rounded education that prepares students for the future no matter what path they choose.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about the why and the overall structure, but I'm really curious about those actual learning activities. Is it all lectures and worksheets? Give me the juicy details.
Oh, they go way beyond just lectures and worksheets. They have a ton of different ways to keep students engaged. It's really interesting,
Okay,
actually.
I'm all ears. Tell me more.
So each lesson starts with this thing called a pre-learning design.
Pre-learning design. Interesting.
Yeah, it gives students a clear overview of what they're going to learn, the goals of the lesson, and the resources they'll be using.
So no more jumping into a lesson feeling completely lost.
Exactly. And then they have this awesome mix of interactive and traditional assessments to figure out what students understand.
It's assessments, huh? So like tests and quizzes.
Yeah, but way more fun. Think drag and drop activities, clicking on hotspots, answering questions right there in the text. It's all about making assessment more engaging.
I like it. Tests don't have to be scary. What else?
They've got online discussions too. It's a way for students to connect and collaborate, just like they would in a classroom. And then there are creation activities.
Creation activities? Like what?
It could be anything, projects, presentations, even artistic stuff. It encourages students to think deeply and get creative.
So they're actually applying what they're learning.
Exactly. And of course, you've got your classic flashcards for review and practice activities to help solidify things.
So they're hitting all the bases.
And get this, they even have choice assignments. Students get some flexibility in how they show what they know.
Choice assignments. I like that. Gives them some ownership over their learning.
Right. It's pretty cool.
But let's be real for a second. Online learning can be tough. What about students who need extra help? Maybe they struggle with reading or understanding complex concepts. How does InnevAto EDU handle that?
They've thought of that. That's where their focus on accessibility really comes in. They've gone all out to make sure every student has the tools they need to succeed.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of tools are we talking about?
Well, every student gets this customizable accessibility toolbar. It's got all kinds of features like text-to-speech, voice and highlighting options, even screen masking to help with focus. And they can adjust the text size too.
That's pretty comprehensive. What about students who are more auditory learners?
They've got that covered too. There's a built-in read aloud tool so students can listen to the content.
So they really have thought of everything. It's like they're breaking down every barrier they can think of.
They also have these really cool embedded dictionaries.
Dictionaries, like just regular dictionaries.
Well, yeah, they have a text dictionary,
Yeah.
but they also have a picture dictionary and even translation dictionaries.
Well, that's really impressive. They're serious about inclusivity.
Right. They want every student to feel supported.
I love it. But all of these features sound great in theory. How do we know InnevAto EDU is actually making a difference? Like, what kind of results are they seeing?
That's a great question. And the good news is they have the data to back it up.
Okay, tell me more. What kind of data are we talking about?
Well, in their first year alone, over 1,300 students enrolled in InnevAto EDU courses.
A lot of students.
Right. And the passing rate was incredible, 85.8%.
Wow. So students are not only signing up, but they're actually learning and succeeding.
Exactly. And almost 90% of students said they would definitely take another InnevAto EDU course.
Wow, that's pretty strong endorsement. Okay,
Absolutely.
so year one was successful. What about year two? Did they keep up the momentum?
Oh, yeah. Year two is even bigger. They had almost 4,300 total enrollments, and the passing rate jumped up to 92%.
That's amazing. Clearly something is working here. What are students saying about their experiences with the program?
The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Students love how flexible the program is, how they can learn at their own pace and on their own schedule.
That seems to be a common theme with online learning, that flexibility is key.
Absolutely. And students have said they find the platform really easy to use and understand.
That's important. You don't want to spend all your time trying to figure out how the technology works.
I know, right? And another thing that students consistently point out is that they feel like the courses are just as challenging as traditional classroom settings.
So it's not about making things easier, it's about making it more accessible while still providing a rigorous academic experience.
Exactly. And they really love the variety of learning activities, especially the interactive ones.
So it's not just reading textbooks and taking tests.
Nope. It's about applying what they're learning and developing skills they can actually use in the real world.
That's so important. You mentioned earlier that educators are also impressed with InnevAto EDU. What are they saying about it?
They're loving it. One district administrator, Jennifer Blackstone, has been super vocal about how much she appreciates the program.
Okay, what specifically does she like about it?
She loves how consistent the courses are, how well they align with state standards, and the fact that they've gone through a really thorough accreditation process, so she's confident that it's a high-quality program.
Sounds like she's done her homework. And it's not just meeting the needs of students, but also the needs of educators and administrators. What else stood out to her?
Well, she was super impressed with their customer service. She said they're really responsive to feedback and address any issues quickly.
That's important, especially with technology. You need that support.
Right. And she even gave this example of how they went above and beyond to tailor the health course to meet Ohio's specific educational standards.
Wow, they're willing to go the extra mile. That's commitment.
It is. And other educators have chimed in with positive feedback too. Pam Noeth from Springfield Clark CTC called InnevAto EDU a platform that students can actually learn from. She loves how innovative it is.
Innovative. That's a great word to hear. Definitely sounds like they're breaking new ground here.
And Michelle Karn, also from Springfield Clark CTC, had some awesome things to say too. She called the courses exceptional, and she really appreciates how they encourage students to actually use what they're learning.
That's always a good sign. Were there any teachers who were using this in their classrooms who weighed in?
Yes. Stacy Heltz from Bernee Union School said, "They are a responsive, helpful, and forward-thinking team. It's been a pleasure working with them on all counts."
So high praise all around. That speaks volumes about the program and the people behind it. And I've got to say, those student testimonials we've heard, they're incredible. It's not every day you hear students raving about a learning platform.
Right. It's so refreshing. They love the clear instructions, the engaging content, and being able to learn at their own pace.
There was one quote that really stuck with me. One student said, "This was easier for me to learn than listening to a teacher because I could go back and listen again to things that confused me."
Powerful, right? It shows how important it is to give students control over their learning.
Absolutely. Anything else from the student feedback that jumped out at you?
Yeah, one student said that all of the information was real-world things students need in their future. It was all very helpful. They're not just memorizing facts, they're learning skills they can actually use in their lives.
Makes all the difference when you know what you're learning is relevant. Were there any other nuggets of wisdom from the student feedback?
One student said, "It's a good thing because I have to overcome it and I can ask for help." It sounds like they're developing a growth mindset, which is so important for,
Learning. Totally.
yeah.
It's not about making everything easy. It's about giving them the right support to challenge themselves and grow.
And there was this one student who took the career exploration course. They said, "It's just an eye-opener about life, what the real world will look like. Also, it showed what you will have to do for upcoming jobs."
Wow. Preparing them for life beyond the classroom. That's incredible.
It really is.
Before we move on, I wanted to touch on one more testimonial.
Liza, the teacher from Clark County ESC.
Yes. She had such great insights from a teacher's perspective.
She loved how easy the platform is to use for both teachers and students, and she was impressed by all the features they have to support different learning styles.
And she was really happy with how much control she had as a teacher.
Being able to do things like reassign lessons and track student progress easily.
Makes a huge difference for teachers.
It really does. They've really thought of everything.
I'm thinking about all the teachers out there who are listening. What does InnevAto EDU actually mean for them, for their classrooms?
Well, think about it this way. It gives teachers a powerful new tool to reach students who might be struggling in a traditional setting.
Students who need a different approach.
Exactly. Students who learn at a different pace or who have different needs. InnevAto EDU gives teachers a way to personalize the learning experience for each student.
So it's about meeting students where they are, giving them what they need to succeed.
Exactly. And think about all the time teachers spend planning lessons, grading assignments, creating materials. InnevAto EDU can help streamline a lot of those tasks.
Gives them more time to actually teach, to connect with their students.
Right. It's not about replacing teachers, it's about giving them more tools and support so they can be even more effective.
It frees them up to focus on what they do best. Okay, so we've talked about what InnevAto EDU means for students, what it means for teachers. What about for parents? What do they need to know about this program?
Well, first and foremost, they can be confident that InnevAto EDU is providing a high-quality education that's aligned with Ohio's learning standards.
So it's not some fly-by-night online program. It's the real deal.
It is, and it's flexible. Parents can rest assured that their kids can learn at their own pace, on their own schedule.
No more stressing about getting homework done at a certain time.
Right. And think about all the opportunities it opens up. Students can take courses that might not be offered at their school. They can explore new interests, dive deeper into subjects they're passionate
It's
about.
like expanding their horizons, right? Giving them a chance to really discover what they're interested in.
Exactly. And it can help students become more independent learners. They have to take ownership of their education, manage their time, and stay motivated.
Sounds like good life skills to be learning.
Definitely.
Okay, so InnevAto EDU is shaking things up in the world of education. It's all about personalized learning, accessibility, and preparing students for the future. But is it the only program out there doing this kind of thing?
There are definitely other online and blended learning programs out there.
So what makes InnevAto EDU stand out? What's their secret sauce?
Well, for one thing, it's designed by Ohio teachers specifically for Ohio students. They understand the needs of Ohio schools and students in a way that a national program might not.
So it's tailored to the specific context.
Right. And their commitment to accessibility is really impressive. They've gone above and beyond to make sure that every student can access and benefit from their courses.
And they've got the data to back it up. We've seen those impressive enrollment and passing rates.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the incredible feedback they're getting from students and educators. People are really responding to what they're doing.
Where do we go from here?
That's the million-dollar question. I think InnevAto EDU is giving us a glimpse of what's possible when we embrace innovation in education.
It's about reimagining what learning can look like.
Exactly. And it's about making sure that every student have the opportunity to reach their full potential, no matter where they live, how they learn, or what challenges they face.
It's a future I'm excited to see unfold.
It really is. They're setting a new standard, pushing the boundaries of what online and blended learning can be.
I'm convinced. InnevAto EDU sounds like a game changer.
Absolutely. It's definitely a program to watch. Keep an eye on them. They're doing incredible things.
So there you have it, folks. That was our deep dive into InnevAto EDU.
Fascinating stuff.
It is. If you want to learn more about InnevAto EDU, we encourage you to check out their website.
They've got all the info you need there about their programs, their philosophy, all of it.
Yeah, definitely worth a look. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.
See you then.